Hey everybody, welcome back to the Capes Cast podcast. I'm Jeremy,
And I'm Ryan.
and it's February, and
Yeah.
it's like what, February 11th.
Yep.
Yes, February 11th. So
We
shoot,
got
man.
new books coming out tomorrow,
Yeah. Um,
but we're going to talk about last week.
I want to open up with talking about the Fantastic Four trailer.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
I loved it, dude.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
So sick, dude.
Which is crazy because if anybody knows me, like I am like the most negative when it comes to MCU stuff, and I finally have like hope. Like,
Hey man, July was it July 11th?
yeah.
Super
Hmm.
and July 25. No, I'm booked. Nobody ever asked me to do anything.
Right. It's gonna be sick, bro.
I'm busy. I'm busy.
Dude.
I've got to go watch Superman, and then I got to go watch Fantastic Four.
Yeah. And you still need to
So
watch Creature Commandos because that
I
actually.
started it.
Oh, you did? Yeah,
I
because
watched
it
the first
actually
episode
starts
the other night.
setting up things for that universe, and like we actually see Superman in Creatures Commandos. He's animated, but we see him in there. So
Oh, nice,
yeah,
sweet.
I mean, just for a little bit, just like a tiny bit, he's in there. But
I had seen today that there's a rumor that somebody already cast Green Arrow and that he's going to show up in Peacemaker season 2.
oh, that'd be cool.
That'd
I
be cool.
can
I don't
wait
know. Maybe.
because we
It-
also do see the new DC U Batman in Creature Commando 2. We still
yeah,
know who's going to be playing.
I saw the screen grab for that.
Yeah, so he's in there too. So we don't know who he is yet. But I mean, just for continuity's sake, they're already building that universe so people can just jump into Superman.
But I'm excited, man. It's cool to be excited about a couple superhero movies again.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been saying this for a little while, and it's not like I'm not like the first person. I won't be the last person to say this, but I feel like July's like kind of make or break for superhero movies
Oh, for sure.
because like you're gonna introduce the first family, and if it flops, what faith do we have that anything else is gonna be successful after that?
Right.
And then also have Superman, and if Superman flops, we have no faith in the DCU.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, and they're two like big names, so it's kind of like they have to nail it, or it's just gonna be like a waste.
Well, since we know James Gunn is doing Superman, who's doing Fantastic Four?
I thought it was Watts.
Mm,
Maybe
okay.
it's Shane. Maybe it's somebody different. I don't remember. But either way, it looks good. Is all I'm saying. Like
It
Thing
does.
looks great. I'm still not entirely sold on Pedro Pascal as Reed.
Yeah. It doesn't, it still doesn't feel like it to me.
It's fine. It's whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It was interesting that they were like kind of like secretive with his powers.
Yeah. I found that odd. Like maybe they can't just haven't done the CGI for that yet,
Maybe
or
possible.
you know.
Maybe they don't want it to get criticized if it's
Yeah.
not like looking up to par.
Right.
Um, what else? Galactus was in it.
Yeah, Galactus looked a little tiny.
Well, he can
Galactus.
alter his size,
Yeah, for sure. But I know it just seemed like,
so it'll be cool. I mean, maybe they'll try and replicate like his first appearance, and it'll be like 48, 49.
yeah, that'd be cool. I mean,
I'm interested. Either way, I'm interested to see what happens. I'm no Silver Surfer in the trailer.
hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I still want it to be Norrin, but we'll see with
Yeah.
well, we'll see what happens.
Well, I think that's what they're saying is, well, in their universe, it wasn't Norrin, and now in the MCU, it's going to be Norrin. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they could just be like, oh, like this, everything, the same happened, but instead of it being Norrin accepting the offer, like to spare, like saying like, oh, spare my planet,
Yeah.
and I'll go with you.
Right.
It could be the opposite that Shuttleball did instead of Norrin. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
mean, if that's the case, then I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't care.
Right.
Like, whatever, it's gonna serve its purpose. If it's like the origin's the same, but it's just her instead of him, I whatever. And knowing that she's probably not going to make it out of the universe, and we'll end up seeing Norrin maybe hopefully in the future.
Right.
Obviously speculation. Maybe she does make it out, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
So I imagine that the story is going to be mainly about Galactus eating their planet and them escaping and ending up.
Yeah, Yeah, I would imagine so. I would imagine they would probably end up by the end of the movie they show up by like the main universe.
Right, right. Hmm.
See,
But then that makes me wonder, aren't there two Fantastic Four then? Then?
there's no Fantastic Four in the main MCU.
Well, where's the Reed of that universe? Where's the Sue of that
They
universe?
don't exist.
Have they talked about this already?
Um, I want to say yes. I don't know for sure where, but just like Norman doesn't exist in the MCU.
Yeah, it's so weird. So weird.
And
I
that's
guess
what
they're just
happens.
trying to throw that out.
That's what happens. Like that's see, that's what happens when you have multiple companies that own some of like different characters. So then you try and like like mold a universe without them, but then when you strike a deal and you can use them and some of the adjacent characters, or you outright buy, you know, some of those characters back, and then you try to force them in, like it's not gonna end well. It's not gonna be like
Yeah.
the easiest transition.
Because
So
it's
I'd
like, where have they
imagine,
been this whole time?
I'm hoping that Secret Wars is just a way to like kind of soft reboot everything to like one universe, and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Imagine if Reed is like the maker in this universe. That'd be sick.
Dude, I'm Miles Teller come back, dude. I'm telling you.
Like, that'd be dope. That'd be
It'd be
dope.
kind of cool. It'd be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Because I'm hoping we do
Um,
get a Council of Reeds eventually. We need to see
yeah.
that live action. I mean, we got the Council of Kangs, but nothing happened with that.
Mhm.
Nothing's gonna happen with
Yeah.
that. So,
Well, there was some I had saw something the other day about maybe them wanting to bring Majors back.
oh yeah, because the lawsuit got dropped.
He's like kind of off the hook right now, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Still sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not holding my breath. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I've kind of lost my like, yeah, let's go MCU. You know, it's not
Right.
in me anymore. uh, Invincible season 3 started.
Yeah, dude.
You watched it yet?
I haven't. I haven't watched it yet.
It's straight fire, dude.
I imagine. I imagine.
It's so cool. I love it, dude.
I can't wait. It's
I'm not
just my
trying to
lady
be
and I
like,
have to set aside time. We can watch it together. So,
yeah, I'm not just being like it's hype because it's hype, but it's like it's good. I really like it.
oh, I love the second season. So I can't wait
Yeah,
to.
season 3 is even, dude, the first 3 episodes are just straight gas, dude.
Yeah, I'm stoked that they started off with 3 episodes, so I can just jump in it.
Yes, I think it's every Thursday it comes out, so it'll be 2 days.
Yeah. But just one more thing on Fantastic Four I want to touch on.
Oh
The
yeah, yeah.
only thing I really am excited about, mainly for Fantastic Four, is finally the MCU is not relying on nostalgia. Like, there's no nostalgia bait in this. There's no, hey, Robert Downey Jr.'s in this somewhere. Hey,
I
Chris,
know.
I'm here. Hey, like, it's just a movie, a new movie with new characters.
I think that's the only way that it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I mean, just in general, that makes me happy because I feel like all this time, ever since the pandemic, it's just been relying on
Right.
how can we make everything feel like Endgame did? How can we go back to that? How can we bring the people back from that? And
I
it's
don't care about any of that, dude. Like
no.
I just tell me good comic book stories.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I'm loving the whole theme of this Fantastic
It's like
Four.
retro futurist, like
Yeah.
60s era.
Yeah. It's like
John
it's
Malkovich playing like I don't know, maybe Mole Man, maybe Nathaniel
yeah.
Richards. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, but
We'll see what happens.
I'm excited, but yeah.
Hell yes, dude. Either way, yeah, I'm gonna be there. First day. Day one, I'm there. I'm watching it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like the day one probably won't be as crazy because I feel like Fantastic Four, like outside of like comic fans, like they get shitted on a
That's
lot.
fine. Less
You
people
know
I
what I
gotta worry
mean?
about in the theater.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine
But
for me.
I want to be there because
Yeah.
I love everybody in the Fantastic Four. Give me more.
Um,
Give me some Franklin. Give me some Valeria in there.
yes, dude. I mean, I guess I thought I don't know. Obviously, rumors are it's all speculation, whatever. But I thought I seen something about maybe Franklin being in it
That'd
at
be
some
dope.
point. Would be cool.
That would be dope.
I don't know.
Let's get Hickman with it just right out the gate. Just go. That
Dude, what if it's an old Franklin? What if John
would be
Malkovich is
cool.
old man Franklin? Oh,
That would be cool.
that would be tight.
Yeah.
Warning them about doom.
Yeah. When you just have Franklin Richards in the future somewhere, time travel, you could do anything.
Hell yeah, dude, it's sick.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
What do you want to talk about first, my man?
I'll let you pick.
All right. Well, let's see. I'll just start with let's just go with Absolute Superman for right now.
Okay.
Absolute not my favorite issue. Uh
Really?
yeah, not my favorite issue. I'm having a real problem with this series with the pacing. The
Yeah,
pacing of this
I get
series
it.
is very, like we're in Krypton, now we're not in Krypton. Now we're in the present, now we're not in the present. And then it's like, hey, Superman's I think like in two panels in this whole issue.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, I
and
I
and
didn't hate it.
and then going from that tease from the last issue to like nothing. You know what I mean? It's very just like it feels so it's like scattershot.
Kind of disjointed a little bit.
Yeah, it feels like just like, Aaron just threw a bunch of shit in a pot and it's just coming out. Like, you know,
I I don't know. I like that this is kind of like a lowest focused issue.
for sure. Yeah.
Um, it is interesting to see like how she's beginning to feel differently about Lazarus and what they're doing and how like she sees how brutal the peacemakers are being.
Yeah.
And then you also have the whole situation with the Brainiac system kind of being like, oh no, it's like totally like total it's totally fine. You
Right.
did what you had to do, it was totally you had to shoot him. It's like kind of like they're being like brainwashed. And then I don't really care for the Omega Men thing.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't care
really
for that either. I saw it coming right when I saw the red hair. I saw that
yeah.
coming. Right, I was just like, oh, red hair. I know who that's going to end up being. Yep, sure was.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's whatever, dude. Like these Omega Men, who care? Like it's Jimmy.
I really don't care about the Peacemakers or Omega Man, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't care.
I'm not the biggest. I already hate Peacemaker. Like, I'm not having it. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't care about Peacemaker.
Mm,
I think he's a dumbass. But the idea that they're just kind of like making Peacemaker just like the soldier, like the equivalent of like the military or like
yeah,
a militia. I think that's cool.
yeah.
But and it kind of like because what is Peacemaker's real name?
It's
Is it
like,
Christopher Smith?
yeah, it's Chris Smith. Yeah, Christopher Smith.
I mean, that's the one that kind of goes bat shit crazy in this
Yeah,
one.
yeah. He's the Peacemaker among all
So
of them.
it'll be interesting. Maybe he breaks away.
Yeah, because it's giving me like kind of like a Judge Dredd vibe a little bit, like with
Yeah,
the,
yeah, I could see that.
you know.
Yeah, Superman being in here for a couple of panels is whatever. And he
Yeah,
takes.
it was mostly just like the people talking about him and Lois trying to figure him out, for trying to, I feel
Yeah,
like we do this in every Superman run where it's like Lois needs to figure it out and find him. Lois needs to figure it out and find him, and that was
yeah.
it too, So I don't know. Out of the three, this is still my probably my least favorite of the three. Uh, just like I said, it's so disjointed, and I feel like a lot of times I feel like it's not different enough. I feel like
Yeah.
some of these things are very samey to the main universe, like the way Krypton explodes with Brainiac, everything like that feels very
Yeah.
similar. Superman fighting for the working man, like that's Grant Morrison's Action Comics, and
I'm hoping maybe as it goes on.
yeah, because like Absolute Wonder Woman is so wildly different, and
Yeah.
same with Batman, like they're both
My hope would be is this book doesn't just well, I guess my hope for all of these titles is this they don't remain these on the rails like generic Elseworlds takes of these characters. I would like to see them kind of interact a little bit with each other, have storylines and arcs throughout all of them that pertain to what is happening in, I think they're calling it Earth Alpha now. The Omega, absolute universe. I think it's Earth Alpha.
right. The Out
So
World or whatever.
yeah, so if it is called World Alpha or whatever, Earth Alpha, um, whatever the absolute universe is, my hope would be is it's kind of like it's not just like us trying to rehash or redo like these iconic events or things throughout
Right.
these characters' histories. I would
Right.
really be interested to see like original takes on stuff. And that's why I think the creative teams are stacked. They're really stacked. Like there's a lot of really good creative talent behind these books, but like they really need to utilize that and let them just kind of go off the rails. Like
Yeah.
really let them go off the rails and like do what they want to do.
Right. Right. Which has me excited for the issue of Absolute Batman tomorrow because it's the final like issue of the first arc.
Yeah.
So to kind of see how this ends and where it's going, will be
Yeah, definitely.
so I don't know. I'm still loving it. Rafa Sandoval's still killing it, man. He's doing a
Good
great.
art. Really, really good art.
But it's just I feel like, Jason Aaron likes to just spin his wheels just a little bit. And this is one of those instances where I felt that,
Meander a little bit, yeah.
because like these whole thing of like all these people saying like we want Superman to get pissed off just as we are, so he could just
Yeah.
destroy everybody, and it's like,
Like, okay.
yeah, okay, pal, like all right,
Wow,
you
chill out, guy.
I don't know. I think I'm burnt out of like edgy Superman stories, so
We
that's
all are, dude. It's
yeah.
lame.
So that's probably why like reading that like kind of made me roll my eyes, like oh god, like
Yeah. Do you think maybe it'll be like a subversion and the Superman's like really kind at the
yeah, I
beginning?
think so. I think so. I think Aaron knows better.
No,
You,
yeah, I agree. I
I
would
think
hope so.
yeah,
He's a good writer when it comes down when he really comes down to it. He's a
yeah,
pretty good writer.
I agree.
Um, Ultimates
Yeah, man.
was fire, dude. It was sick.
Yeah. Yeah, this was just Ultimate Luke Cage origin issue. It was pretty cool.
Oh
Like
yeah, man. I really liked it.
I loved it. I thought I was surprised because I feel like the artist really kept on like with the tone and the feel of like
Yeah,
Frigeri.
it was.
Or
I
is that
to be honest
Frigeri?
with you, I didn't even know it was a different artist until like I didn't. It didn't click with me that it wasn't for Gary, I think is his
Yeah,
name. For
yeah, it's
Gary.
Frigeri, yeah.
I didn't realize it wasn't him until probably like several pages into it, and I was like, hold on a second.
Right.
But it's funny because a lot of the time I'm pretty harsh when it comes to like a constant back and forth jumping with timeline stuff. But I think the way that this is framed is done really well, you
Yeah.
know, because you have him like getting beat down on one side, pretty much every single page,
Right.
and then him doing something like to kind of like further his machinations in the prisons and kind of like further his plans and what
Right.
he has like trying to like get out and like do all these things.
Yeah. And then we see even the ultimate Danny Rand in here. We see him for a second.
Hell yeah, dude. I thought that was really cool. Dude, Ultimate Heroes for Hire. I need that.
Yeah.
That'll be
That was
cool.
pretty cool. I love that. I love the clever little thing, about, what's it all about? It's about power, man. Like,
Yeah.
that was cool. Like,
And
so,
then the splash page, all power to the people, with him
oh
like
yeah, that was
being
great.
I thought that was sick.
Yeah, that was great. I'm seeing I've seen some people have issues with this book just because of the stereotypical,
It's pretty cool.
yeah,
Like
it,
okay, and here's what's funny is I see it all the time. Like especially like just kind of the area that we live in.
right,
So what I find interesting about people that complain about like the politics or like the social aspects of this book is, and I know it's not a lot because like I'll read online and overwhelmingly it's mostly positive, but it's also like you are going to find pockets of people here and there, where it's not as well received or whatever. So it isn't kind of like a vacuum.
right,
Um, but like I guess, from when I was in the shop and hearing people like about previous issues and how like it tackled like certain social stuff, it's interesting because why wouldn't you want your heroes to do like the right thing? You know what I
right.
mean? Like
I think it's more
in it,
about people just think like, oh, the writer's got an agenda with this,
I mean,
and
yeah, I mean, yes, I see that perspective, but also look at the larger context in the universe at the same time, you know, like it's it, it it's a world that it's literally it's a universe that shows us behind the curtain in a
Yeah,
way. It
yeah,
shows us like truly who is in charge and how far they've gone and how far they're willing to go to
right.
remain in control. So like for him to basically systematically put Luke Cage in prison and keep him there,
Yeah.
you know, I,
When he was supposed to get out in a year, his
right.
first.
And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and of course people are going to draw parallels, or of course the writer is gonna write parallels to what's happening in real life. Because why wouldn't you?
Well, that's Dennis Camp in a nutshell. He's always kind
Right.
of
And like, and here's the thing is like, eh, I don't know how many times I have to say this. Like, comic books are kind of political by design. Like they were created like they were basically created to send overseas to give soldiers some kind of entertainment. You know what I mean? Like primarily a lot of comics that were created back in the day were like war comics, were like mystery and noir, kind of like you know like thriller, like a bit of horror stuff. You had some romance,
yeah.
but it
I
was
was
all
about to say
very
Marvel
like
was all about the romance stuff back in the day.
yeah, exactly. Like that's back when they were timely before they were even Marvel. So it was like to be like I don't like politics in my comics and be like I need them to escape. It's like yes, I get that. Like there are comics that are strictly just for that. Like
Well,
if you want like a no brain, like go beat 'em up, punch 'em up comic, like go read the Incredible Hulk. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Like go read that.
Yeah,
You know, there's none of that in there. Like
yeah,
you don't have to worry about that. It's just Hulk fighting monsters and beating the hell out of them. But like when you have a book that's like the Ultimates, that's about a team of superheroes that are trying to dismantle like you know a secret overlord. It's bound to be political. Like like
right.
there's no way around it.
Especially when America's already taken over in that book, and we're kind of dealing with a simpler version of that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of like, of course, but that's Dennis Camp. That's the way he writes. He writes very, I saw like a post from the other day where he was writing about Nazis, and he was like, "Of course I wrote this, and it made me cry writing it." And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's very like
Yeah.
very passionate about how he feels. He loves putting that in his writing, and I think it's just if you don't like that, you're not gonna be a fan of Dennis Camp. That's
No, I agree. You know,
but
and if you
I
don't
mean,
like it,
I
well,
feel like that's like a new thing because back in the day, like if X-Men were to come out today, how many people would call that woke? You know what I mean?
they do, brother. They
Yeah,
already do.
I know, but in the '60s it wasn't. They, people love X-Men.
Oh, for me, I can't take it, dude. Everybody's
Yeah,
such crybaby.
it's insane. It blows my mind.
Every, I just like want everybody to stop crying. Like, just read your comics and shut up.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean, I
that's
can
all.
understand if you're complaining about like your Mark Millar or your
Yeah, like,
your those type of books, but it's like
right.
or like Frank Miller. Like I feel like nobody's as like on the nose political as Frank Miller was. I mean, Frank Miller had Joker and Darkseid using a Trump puppet in his Dark
Yeah.
Knight
Was
Returns
it
of
the
Golden
Golden
Child.
Child or whatever it was? Yeah.
Yeah,
God,
he had
that was awful.
it was terrible, but I
Oh,
mean that was pretty funny seeing Darkseid and Joker using Trump as a puppet to take over the country.
I need to talk about Sacrificers.
Oh, what's up with that?
It's a it's fire, dude. It's such a great book, man.
Yeah.
So I I'm in on I think I'm fully sold in on the Rick Remender giant generator hype. I think.
Okay.
Like I read the seasons, what was it last week? Whatever, like week of the 29th.
Hmm.
Really good book actually. I was really surprised. It was my comic of the week for the 29th. So it was by banger, really good.
Really?
But The Sacrificers is dude, it's so damn good, man. So like you obviously haven't been keeping up with this, right?
No. How many issues is it in?
There's 14 so far.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So it basically started out with so there are these like gods. that I don't know if it's every year, every it might be every year. It might just be every several months, every once a month. I'm not sure. But they have this like feast or like this thing where they gather and they all drink this like elixir and it keeps them like youthful and like powerful and all this stuff. But there are these um like a child, like a number of children are selected from a family every round and they're like being sacrificed. But they're being told it's like an honor and they get to go to this place and have all this like do all these things and all this stuff. And so the main character, his name is Pigeon because he's literally just a pigeon. Like he's just a family. They're just anthropomorphic birds. Um
Okay, that's weird.
and I mean it's cool. Like all the characters are really interesting.
Who does the art?
Max Fuimara.
Okay, I have no idea
But
who
I'm
that
like
is.
here's the cover for issue 14. So
Okay.
like here's like so this bird right here, this is the younger sister of Pigeon, of the main
Oh,
character.
damn.
So like I don't as I understand it, like the kids are selected like from birth.
Hmm.
Like they're selected like from when they're born, like one kid from every family is selected and they're like you're being selected, you're the sacrifice.
Oh, damn.
So then the foreman, after a certain length of time, will come and collect the children. So like the entire first issue, Pigeon is like treated like shit. Like he lives out in the barn. He doesn't barely get to eat anything. His dad like beats the hell out of him. Doesn't want anything to do with him because he's like from the get. He's like you were picked to you were like we have to sacrifice you. So why am I going to invest time in you? Is basically his dad's thought.
Damn.
So he's completely separate from the family. But the younger sister is always like sneaking him bread or food or being kind to him. And so he finally gets picked up by the foreman, and they go like other stops around the continent and pick them up, these kids up, and they take them to the capital or whatever where all the gods are. And they show them this giant room, and it's full of like feasts, and it's like all this like a paradise, like an oasis. But then they all get like taken away one by one into another room, and the like all of their emotion, everything gets sucked out of them, and that becomes the elixir for the gods to continue to stay youthful
Oh.
every time they do this.
Oh,
And so
damn.
they're the sacrificers, like they're the ones being sacrificed every single time. So it's keeping them alive and keeping them powerful. But some of the gods kind of have an issue with it. So then you introduce Soluna, who is the daughter of the sun god and the moon god. So the sun god's kind of like the leader of everything, kind of keeps this all going. And then you have like, and he's Rokos, and then you have his ex-wife Luna, or I think she's still his wife, but he has like a mistress, and so they have a daughter together, Luna and Rokos do, and her name is Sol Luna, and that's the girl you see on the front here.
Hmm.
But when she's introduced, she doesn't look like that, and she's kind of nosy. So in the beginning, she's like I'm gonna be like I'm next in line. I have to like do like like kind of like trying to like live out her youth before she has to take over, essentially, kind of thing.
Right.
But not realizing that it'll probably never happen, because her dad will never let it happen. Um, so she gets curious. She ends up discovering what actually happens with the sacrifices. But in a struggle with Pigeon, she ends up in the chair, and all of her essence is sucked out. And Pigeon ends up drinking it, and he obtains the power of a god.
Oh,
And
shit.
then he goes on this fucking spree of just slaughter. Like he ends up killing like a water god. The water god, he just goes on a rampage, dude, and just wipes people out.
Damn. So
Um,
some Kratos.
yeah,
Oh,
it's really like it takes a God of War turn like halfway through, and I'm like, God, this book is sick, dude.
that is way dope. I'm gonna have
And
to
then
look for the
so
Kratos.
where,
That sounds sick.
yeah, it's great. And then so where we're at now is so Luna has kind of like she was kind of like wandered off on her own into the wilderness after like losing her power and losing a struggle with Pigeon. And she ends up like looking the way she does now, like here, like all like, you know, dry and dusty and
Yeah.
like lifeless basically. and she gets infected with this like black spore, and it's like a parasite, but it can like manifest these like tendrils, kind of like a symbiote, and it like kills the things and like consumes it around them, like while she sleeps. And so she ends up crossing paths with Pigeon's sister, and then they end up getting picked up on another round to go as sacrifices.
Damn.
So that's kind of where we're left off with this issue, and it ends up with um Pigeon has made a deal with another god to kind of like interrupt this whole scheme by Rokos and stop the cycle. So like this god kind of has his own like agenda in it, but it's kind of like the enemy and my enemy is my friend at this point for him.
Right.
So he's yeah, so they've kind of struck a deal to go and take the fight to Rokos. But at the same time, when the people come to collect the kids, the parasite pops off on Soluna because she hasn't slept in days. So she falls asleep and ends up slaughtering all the guards. And the kids and her end up going to take the fight to her dad as well because she knows where everything is. It's the castle, like it's the palace.
Right.
So you have all of these points converging now with like Pigeon wanting revenge for his sister and for being captured. And then you have Soluna who wants answers for what's been going on with the gods and like why her dad's been lying to her, but doesn't realize like all the other issues going on around it. So it's really interesting. I really enjoy this book. And to top it all off, it remember like in one of the letter pages from like the last, I mean, it might have been the last issue or the issue before that, but he basically confirmed that it's in the same universe as Seven to Eternity.
Oh, that's cool.
And I really like that book. Yeah, the ending is iffy, but I really enjoy that. I just enjoy that world. So it's cool to have more content from that universe, I
Right.
think. Also,
Right. That's pretty cool.
banger ass book, dude.
Dude, they have trades already, right? So
Yes, I think the first two are out.
that's dope. Yeah, you just sold me because that sounds like some God of War.
It's a good ass book, dude.
That's dope. Now I want to talk about
What?
Chip Zdarsky's final.
Oh, was that the last one?
That's the final issue before Hut- Hush to a Touche.
Hatoosh. Oh,
Yeah.
Hatoosh, man. Should I get that first issue just to check it out, or should I let you review it for me?
Dude, I don't know, man. Because what I don't know is if it's going to take place after this arc or if it's going to take place after Hush.
Yeah. Well, probably both, I'd imagine.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like, I can't. Like, here's the thing: to stop a run, like, probably that's probably I don't even know if it was done or halfway through or where it was at.
I don't know.
You know, like, what do you feel? Do you feel like that this was like a complete run from Zdarsky, or do you feel like it got cut short?
I think it got cut short.
Okay, so if we go off that, then why would you, cut off a run just to tell a story in the past? To do
Right.
that for like 6 months to a year or however long it's going to be. Like, why would you do that? Like, I think it would make more sense to do it in current continuity. Like I keep saying, if this is gonna be like it's obviously a thing. So now that this is happening, I feel like the only thing that makes it worth it is if it establishes some kind of new status quo, or it is kind of like a definitive Batman story, like the first Hush. I Hush for me is whatever. I don't really care.
Yeah,
It's fine. Like I
I
think
think
if
it's overrated. I think it's
like
overrated.
I feel like if you've never read anything Batman, if you give them Hush, you're bound to enjoy it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's got all of like your typical Batman flavorings that you need. But like for me, like it's just whatever. I mean, I'm also not really the Batman. I'm not the person to go to when it comes to Batman Rex. You know
Right.
what I mean? So all in all, I think Hush is fine. Yeah, I think the only way that this book kind of Hatoosh is worth its salt is if it actually does something that
Well,
is lasting and like good and interesting.
it's it's pointless in so many ways because we've already had Hush sequels. We've already had like Hush in like other books or like Hush show up again, and
Yeah,
it makes me wonder if it's going to just be a continuation. Kind of like
maybe.
similar to like what Jeff Loeb's doing with like the Long Halloween. It kind of just takes place during that time. Like,
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know. I just seems like if you're gonna do that, it's kind of like a wasted opportunity. You know
yeah,
what I
you
mean?
might as well have just done like a mini series, right? But
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, why not? And then at that point, you can just do a black label, and then you don't have any limitations.
yeah, yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know.
but
I don't know
whatever,
what
man.
Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee are thinking, but. this is the best thing that Zdarsky has done with Batman. This arc. This arc right
Yeah,
here is the
I remember
best.
you telling me. So what was the like? Was there any big reveal at the end of this?
The big reveal was because there's this like guy named Commander Star.
Commander Star,
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah, we find out who he was like 2 issues ago
Who
from
was it?
Riddler, and the way he tells shows like
He's the Riddler?
no, Riddler is working with him.
Oh, I was like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Riddler's like working with them, and he's like a millionaire right now.
The
Riddler.
Riddler is?
Yeah, he's like he like owns a business. He's like trying to show Batman he's changed his like ways.
Cash,
But of
cash
course,
money,
Riddler's
baby.
behind this whole thing. So he's been leaving Batman clues on like who Commander Star is, seeing
Mhm.
like if Batman could figure it out. And he keeps like he basically gave Batman a bunch of things that only made sense to be weighed in kilograms. So constant kgs, kg beast,
Mhm.
beast is Commander Star. Yeah, it's KG Beast, but it's very
Dude,
on the
and
it's
it
very
wasn't like just on site for Batman. Or how about this? Batman didn't call up Dick and be like,
no. So check this out.
hey
So
man, do you want a shot at this? Like, you want to take your shot?"
yeah, so no, so more or less, basically through
Oh.
Gotham and through like the big businesses in Gotham, Commander Star and a like basically
Okay, hold
a
on. Didn't
Russian
KG
oligarch,
Beast get his shit rocked in like Titans like a
ooh,
year and a half ago?
KGBs.
Yeah, didn't he get hit roughed up pretty hard?
Yeah, probably.
Like
Last I
it
remember was
was
like
the Titans arc.
last I remember. Oh, was he in that?
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Wally came in and was like, "You're
Oh,
mine,
that's right.
brother."
Wally
And
did mess him. Wally, yeah, Wally
like
messed him up.
bodied him, dude.
Yeah, Wally messed him up.
It's
Um,
like come on. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, are you stupid, KGBs? Like, give me a break.
well, it's mainly Zdarsky's saying something because basically Commander Star is working with like a Russian oligarch who's trying to get
I
American
see.
influence to try like basically KGB is a Russian. He basically poses as Commander Star to
I see what you're.
basically
Yeah, I got you.
yeah. So it's one of
So
those.
did you like this last arc?
It
Oh,
was really cool because it has everything that I want. Like Jim's in it, like Jim Gordon's in it. There's working
nice.
with Batman. It feels so like back to basics. Um, like it wasn't like this big old thing of
Right.
like Gotham's burning down again. Like it was like no, like okay, Russians trying to get influence
Yeah.
through America. Like Batman's trying to prevent World War III basically from happening because they're trying to get like codes and stuff like that. They're really trying to get into the American system.
Okay.
So, so of course it's it has like one more Zdarskyism where it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's one of those one of those fall from the moon moments
Dude, I hate
where
him.
basically a plane is about to like crash into Gotham and like Batman's like you know this plane's wingspan is like 180 feet and the street below us only has 116 feet. So I got to get rid of the wings somehow. So like he basically like puts bombs on the wings and then he's in the middle of it and he has to shoot them both at the same time with guns. Yeah.
Hey, okay. You know what? I'll let it.
It's it's
I'm
one of
letting it
those.
slide, dude. I'm letting
I
it
feel like
slide.
every arc that Zdarsky did had one of those like
I
oh god moments, you know?
I'll be the first. I literally use him falling from the moon as like like a reference point for how ridiculous Batman comics are.
Yeah.
At this point, like when somebody asks me like people like not like online or like in the shop, obviously, but like people at work or
Right.
like when I or like just like people that I know in like my personal life. I'll use that as a reference point, and they're just like, "What? He fell from the moon?" I'm like that. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, he's Batman. Like, that's the only I get to. He's Batman.
At this point, I don't know why DC doesn't just come out and say like, "Hey, Batman's a fucking metahuman because he
Dude, well,
survived
because
all."
then it ruins the like the
But
Wizard of Oz effect. You know what
well,
I mean?
that's what I like is like in canon, like Amanda Waller truly believes that Bruce is a metahuman. She
Yeah,
believes it
yeah, right.
because I mean, Batman just survives things that
I
nobody should.
mean, yeah,
So.
He's
At this
Batman.
point, he might as well be. I mean, how the hell do you know and master 300 martial arts, including alien ones? Like, I mean, that's a superpower in itself. Like,
Hell
how
yeah,
the
dude. Yeah, how do you have like that much like room in your brain?
yeah, and
Not
even
not not to mention all the other information you have stored in that noggin.
I feel like that's a good segue into Batman Offworld here because this was
Oh
the most
no.
ridiculous. It is hilarious. I laughed out loud about 4 times during this. This is the wackiest, off the walls,
It
batshit
it was
crazy.
off world, dude. It was off world, bro.
It's it is hilarious. I, there's not much else I could say about it. It's just the way Jason Aaron looks at Batman and Jason Aaron's Batman is just so like it's not in a bad way, but it's so just ridiculous. It's like for people who don't know, we're supposed to believe that this second year Batman basically got his ass kicked by an alien in Gotham, so he was like, "Oh, I need to figure out how to defeat aliens." So he gets himself abducted, and it's just insanity that goes from there. Like Batman's getting messed up by all these aliens. He ends up meeting a punch bot.
Keep going. I need to grab my charger.
Yeah, for sure. He ends up meeting a punch bot. This punch bot knows every alien's martial art that's on the damn ship with him. So Batman, of course, every day while getting his ass kicked, is going back and learning all these things from Punchbot. And of course, because he's Batman, he can learn all these damn martial arts within like 3 days. So that's basically what happens. And Batman just basically finds out that there's like a slave trade in like on another planet, and the ship is basically dealing with like a slave trade and all this craziness. So Batman, of course, after figuring out how to fight like the aliens, it's like I can't go. I have to stop this like slave trade thing, and he ends up meeting a Tamaranian, and of course they hook up, and it is just
Which is like literally the stupid.
you would think like Batman would tell like Dick like, oh hey, you got Starfire. I remember my first Tamaranian, like
I'm not surprised that didn't happen.
like I don't know,
I'm
like
surprised it didn't happen.
I just feel like it's weird. I would like to see Ione. Is that her name again? I would like to see her
Yeah.
again. Ione, whatever. I'd like to see her again, but obviously it'll only be through a Jason Aaron book. But she was cool, and she's basically the Batman of space now, and she's got like
This Flag Galaxy, whatever it is.
yeah, the Slag Galaxy and
I
Punchbot, Batbot.
SpongeBob was just the best character, dude. I don't even
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
Like, like that whole book is just a bunch of ridiculous ass shit the whole
Bro,
way through.
when Batman like goes to that like desert planet and like they're like, "Oh, we're getting like terrorized by this big like hound."
I was really just gonna say when he like domesticates this like alien like razor wolf. I'm like, shut the hell up, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
And he
get
just
out of
like
here.
meets it and it immediately like bows to him and it's like
Yeah, like get the hell out of here, dude. Like,
it's like okay. And then like him the most ridiculous part was him like that whispering guy who like killed billions of people on a planet because he whispered in their ears and it
oh
drove
yeah, yeah.
and like Batman's dealing with it and of course Batman it's driving him crazy but he can
Because the
handle it.
last issue ended with him getting a hold of Batman whispering in his ear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then this whole like the whole like most of this issue is like him still whispering, and Batman's like bleeding from the eyes, the
Yeah.
mouth, the nose, like everywhere.
Yeah.
And then he just like gets up and like with sheer will, like is like,
Yeah.
oh Batman.
Yeah. And he says, "Oh,
And I'm
Batman."
like,
And he's like, I see it in his face. He is scared for the first time. And it's like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, this killer of billions is finally afraid. And it's like, oh my.
I can't, dude.
It is
Like
so funny.
it's
Like,
books like this that make me literally like be like, fuck Batman.
yeah,
Like fuck
Jason
Batman.
Aaron just went full into that area of Batman. He's
Dude,
like,
like literally fuck Batman.
yeah,
That's how that book
like
makes me
Batman.
feel, dude.
And then of course it ends. Batman ends up finding that alien that kicked his ass in the first issue, and then he keeps
Yeah. Yeah, he just beats his ass. Yeah.
yeah. And
That
he's
was
like,
cool.
well, I got work to do in Gotham.
Yeah. It was something.
Yeah, it
I'm
was.
glad I'm glad that the book finally came out. I know Doug Mankey was like kind of doing not too good for a minute there.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
it's still great. It's very consistent. It's very
yeah.
I,
Good
I
stuff.
I'm glad that there wasn't a fill-in artist. I'm glad that it's,
Yes.
you know, um,
Not to like bust the bubble here, but like there's another fill-in artist for Absolute Batman,
oh,
issue 7.
already?
Yeah.
That bums me out.
It's annoying, dude. Like I just don't get it. Like why? Why? That's just like that's the only thing I can say is why. It's like maybe put it on like just like offset it maybe like a 5 week or 6 week release schedule. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I don't
if,
understand why they
if
do that.
Dragata needs a little bit more time, like I don't know. I don't obviously again, I don't know anything about what happens behind the closed doors, but it just seems like why wouldn't you want consistency on what is supposed to be your hottest book right now?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you?
right. Because didn't that get number one like last
Yes.
month or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
like the hottest selling book of 2024.
right.
So,
I don't
I don't
know
know.
because it sucks. I guess it wouldn't suck as bad as if like Dragata didn't have such a stylized way of drawing everything because it's going to be
Whatever.
really hard to keep consistency with that. Somebody is
Let me see
style.
who it is.
I don't know. I don't think the Walter was a good fit last time. So
Right. I'm obviously a little bit biased, but I liked it, you know.
yeah.
I like Walter as like just in general.
Hmm.
It's Marcos Martin.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't know. I'd have to look in to see what he's done before,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It just says to me it's kind of like why I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, especially when you haven't seen like Sherman or Sandoval take a break yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, dude. And right, dude, speaking of Sherman, part 2 of Into the Unbeing comes out this week.
oh, really?
Yes, so I'm excited to check that out.
Hey,
I put that in
that's
my
that's his like indie book, right? With
Zach Thompson, I think.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
he's working with two Thompsons.
yeah, yeah. Damn,
Oh,
great though. He's great.
speaking of indie books,
Mhm.
I finally picked this up.
We called them giants. I've heard a lot about that book. I've heard a
Karen
lot
Gillan, Stephanie Hans.
because that's just in a graphic novel. It's just an
Yep.
original graphic novel, right?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty cool. We don't get enough of those these days, where it's just a graphic novel to be a graphic novel.
Yep, that's all it is. One complete graphic novel.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it.
Who's doing that?
It's Karen Gillan,
Oh, oh,
Karen Gillan and Stephanie Hans.
okay. Yeah, that's gonna
Fire
be.
team. It's they did die.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
They
that's gonna
also
be great.
did Journey into Mystery with Kid Loki stuff
Hmm.
together.
Yeah, I've seen some solicitations for Power Fantasy, dude, and let me tell you, those covers are looking insane. Like those covers look so
I know.
crazy.
I know.
It's so cool. Like I'm really loving the hell out of that series, man. I can't wait
Yeah,
for
me
more.
too, dude.
It's
I I mean it was my number one, you know,
yeah.
of last year and right and deservedly so.
Yeah.
So
Now that the first arc's over, I actually want to just read them all all together.
I need to get the trade.
Yeah.
There's two different copies of the trade out.
Oh, really? Different covers?
Hmm. I think one is Etienne and the other is Valentina.
Okay.
Either way, tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Stick,
dope.
dude. Um, you want to do another recommendations this week?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who? Give me a artist or a writer.
What do you mean?
We'll pick a creator, art writer, artist, and then we'll just throw out some recommendations from them.
I will say, I don't know. Now I'm on the spot. Now I can't fucking even though I'm surrounded by comics. Um, let's see who's killing it right now that should get a spotlight. Hmm. Help me out here. Who's
Um,
killing it right now?
let's see. I was gonna say, you know what, Phillip Kennedy Johnson.
There we go. There we go.
Let's do Phillip Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah, yeah, because you've read his indie stuff. I haven't.
Yeah,
So,
well, you read Crocodile Black?
oh yeah, I did. That was really cool too. That was really dark.
Yeah, dude. That was really, really interesting. That was interesting. I
That
liked
was
it.
interesting and dark for the reasons that like it very much like tapped into the PTSD of our pandemic trauma.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like
You
there
know,
was,
like
yes, because I mean, yeah, the pandemic affected everybody like differently, you know.
yeah.
And some people were kind of like messed up by just being shut in all the time.
Hmm.
So it was an interesting take on it and kind of really, really dark and twisted. Like,
Disease, like that disease is like
yeah, and like just kind of like where his mind goes as the story progresses and how just like the kind of like how depraved it becomes.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's really, really it's good. I really enjoyed it. I'll probably revisit it at some point.
Yeah. But I mean, Phillip Kennedy Johnson, man, the only thing and it's not even that I don't like it, just the only one I like the least is probably his Batman and Robin, but his War World, his Green Lantern, I mean, dude, his Hulk, like pretty much I haven't read anything I've straight up disliked. As much as I think he's getting the character wrong at Damien right now, it's still a great book. It's still dope.
Yeah.
It's that's a like as a Batman fan, I'm kind of eating right now because finally, like this Zdarsky gave me what I wanted, Dark
Hmm.
Patterns. Phil Kennedy Johnson's doing it, but it's it's different enough. Like I always feel like Philip Kennedy Johnson always has this, and he always like has these artists that really get it, where it's like everything he writes is pretty gritty. It's really gritty. Like if you notice, like the way like Batman and Robin is, it's very more like in the shadows. It's very more dark lines. It's very,
Yeah.
with like Zdarsky's Batman, it was a lot brighter. It was
Mhm.
very bright. So it's dope to get like this dark Batman again, where especially with Damian, because I feel like as great as Williamson is, I feel like Williamson at times is too lighthearted for Batman and the Bat
Yeah.
family. Like he's very lighthearted. So he was still great too. But I just think like Philip Kennedy Johnson is he should be doing more because he's done so much that's been so great. And I mean that War World saga, you talk to anybody about recent Superman and you're gonna hear it.
Banger, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, you're gonna hear
Incredible.
it, and I think that's one of like the like defining. I feel like that's gonna be like a defining Superman. People are gonna be like, "Oh, I want to read Superman." They're gonna be like, "Start with War World and then catch up."
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, like what's a good like 2020s Batman
Yeah, skip
story?
Bendis, but go to War World, like
Yes. 100%.
So, and I just feel like he's got this. He writes great as like from a parent perspective, from like a soldier perspective, and just as like you could tell that he wants to be a great role model for his kids, and you really feel that in his books. Like
Yeah.
the way he's writing Batman with Damian, the way he was writing, Superman with the kids,
Yeah.
John and the other kids. Like I feel like he really excels at like that parental writing part.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Even with like you kind of even got it with Green Lantern where like his little sister came back and
Yes, and like him taking care of his mom and like have
yeah,
dude, like some of those issues were heavy, dude.
dude, they were dark, man. Yeah.
For sure.
I love that series, dude. I wish it didn't end. I honestly
I
think
know, man. I'm so bummed about it. But hey,
yeah.
we'll get
I think
something.
Jon Stewart deserves an ongoing and I think Phil Kennedy Johnson deserves an ongoing.
Yep.
So,
I agree with you.
I mean, especially when it comes to Superman, I know we're getting the books of L that got postponed, sadly.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
finally Johnson Superman again. Nah.
Yeah, I know. It's just annoying, dude.
We're getting Dan Slott instead, guys.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna throw down The Last God.
Yeah, yeah, you read all of it, right?
Yeah, I read it. When did I read that? In December?
Mhm.
Yes, December. Shoot, it's been yeah. I don't even. I don't even know what month it is. February.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. So it was funny because the other day, so when I went back and finished it finally, well, I reread it because I was pulling it monthly when it was coming out, and then I was pulling a lot at the time, so I dropped it. Not
Right.
because I wasn't enjoying it, it was just like never like at the top of my list to read. But so I picked up the last three issues from the dollar bin at the shop
Hey.
back in December. So I just read the whole thing then. But the other day I had gone back and I was like thumbing through the last few pages because every issue has some back matter in it. Whether it's
Some
like
world building.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like there's a map in every issue and it shows you like the trail of where like the team is like the party has gone.
That's cool.
Um, but then there's like a song, like if a character sings a song in the issue, um, they'll have that song in the back. Like you'll see
Well,
like
Phillip Kennedy
music.
Johnson said he has actually a soundtrack you could put on it. You could go on it. He actually recorded it on his horn.
Yeah.
As
I was literally just gonna go there. Like he's a musician. He does like
yeah,
the trumpet, right? You said?
yeah. He
Yeah. So like yeah, and it's every song has the music, like the notes, like the sheet music on it
That's cool.
to read it, so you could play it. Um, but and then other issues have like a story about a certain character or like an event or like so, yeah, so it's all world building stuff.
That's dope.
So I was
But
just kind
he's
of going,
great at that. He is so
yeah,
great.
it's incredible. So I was doing like I was just going back and reading like because finally I hadn't done it when I reread it. I just kind of like blazed through it.
Mm.
So now that it's cool, man. I really like it.
Yeah,
It's really the premise of the story is there's a group of oh shoot, what happened?
you're still here, so don't
My
trip.
mouse is like gone and you totally disappeared.
Hey, I'm still here, though. You're still
There we
here.
go. All right, cool. We're good.
Mm.
So it's like this crew, kind of like your typical like heroic party. You have your barbarian, or your like warrior style guy. And you've got your elvish kind of like magic character. And then you've got your archer girl who kind of has a little dabbles in magic a little bit. And then you have your like completely magic user lady. And then you've got your big brute hammer wielder. Like but what's interesting about like these archetypes is it's not just like your typical like whatever. Like they're all very, very flawed. And they were never meant to be heroes. So like all of them have an issue, whether it's like they're allowing their people to be like used as fodder to power a magic engine, or it's like one of them is just kind of like a two-timer and he's just trying to like dip his dick wherever he can, like in whichever woman will like spread her legs for him, basically.
Right,
And then you've got your big brute guy who's really just like soft on the inside, but he has like this what he's done in the past is kind of like he's shrouded in mystery. But he's like the guardian of these magical beings. So it's like there's like all of these like little like things about them that make them more than just like the typical archetype that you would find in like a regular RPG or like, fantasy setting.
right.
So the whole like story is framed around this god, the last god, and he is like trying to enter the world from the void and like take over basically and spread this plague. And they stop him. So, but they don't actually stop him, they lie about it.
Mm.
And like things are, they tell every like they tell the country, the like the whole continent or the world as they know it that they defeated this god and the legend spreads and he like the main guy, the warrior Tyr, he becomes the king, you know. And then Cianthe, I think is her name, and she becomes his queen, even though he did some dastardly shit back in the day with her on their quest. And then you've got like the elvish character who goes back to her people and she becomes like their king essentially because like they're all like heroes in their respective, realms essentially.
Right, 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 right.
So they get all these accolades and all these titles and all this like the ascension to these powerful positions. 30 years pass and it bites them all in the ass because there was this prophecy and it turns out that like three children or three beings were set to like come in like to coincide and it would kind of like bring about like this God's return.
Okay.
But then and then like these three people that get kind of thrust into it who are didn't really know that they were part of this end up having to like basically meet it's a very classic case of don't meet your heroes.
Right.
Because one's like a slave, one is the son of the elf queen king, one is another magical being that is like not really a person, but they're like a magical construct given life.
Okay.
So like, but they were all like prophesied from that first encounter. So they're all like thrust into this like grand scheme, not knowing it, but all the while realizing that like it's really just don't meet your heroes
Right.
because these people end up being like awful human beings and they used all of they lied about saving the world and used everything for personal gain and they were everything that they were like told that they were not. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
so
So,
and it's really like it's basically like The Lord of the Rings meets Eldritch Horror and what if the Fellowship didn't defeat Sauron and lied about it?
that's pretty cool.
And it comes back and it comes back to bite, the Fellowship in the ass 30 years later or 100 years later, whatever. If you kind of frame it like that, then it's essentially what it boils down to is that. And the way that the world building is set up is it kind of embodies that like Middle Earth style
Okay.
like storytelling.
But is like the god like Lovecraftian Eldritch type.
Yes, yeah. So like like I think it might be issue 4, like in the first half of the series, uh he breaks down like the whole hierarchy of the gods and like how the world was created and the first God and how this God created like its children and they end up creating like the beings that roam the planet and then there's this void and then there was a being there and that was the last God. So like
Wow.
there's it's interesting and there's like it's like and they it kind of like unfolds. They tell more as the story unfolds like throughout like later issues they kind of reveal more about the history and the lore behind the world and the gods themselves too.
Well, it's only like 12 or 13 issues, right?
It's just yeah, well, it's 12 and then there's like a spin-off one shot Songs
Okay.
of the Lost Children, which is actually pretty good. Dan Waters actually writes that one. He writes it with Phillip Kennedy Johnson.
Oh, okay.
It's good. It's
The
actually
artist,
really
the artist is what's his name?
Federici. Yes.
Federico. Yeah, he's great.
Banger, dude. And it really invokes that like Eastern, like European, like fantasy,
Yeah, I love his
like
art.
that traditional medieval kind of like fantasy. It's so good, dude.
It's like him and Assad Ribic for me hit that. They both hit that for me.
Yep, yep, yeah, 100%, dude.
That's dope.
But yeah, that's my recommendation for that. He says that there's more coming. I don't know
Oh,
when.
cool.
So I'm really interested. I'm so excited, dude, because now that I like finally got to finish it, I'm here for it, dude.
Yeah,
Let me have
yeah,
more.
it's crazy. I remember when I recommended you Warworld, you were like, I haven't really read anything Phil Kennedy Johnson except this like Last God, and
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, yeah, dude. And I just remember being like, dude, please read it. We got to
Yeah.
talk.
And I read that and
Then you went on a whole Johnson spree.
then there was Hulk.
Hmm.
And then we've got on Crocodile Black, Green Lantern. Hey man, it's good stuff, dude.
For tomorrow, what all you getting tomorrow? Do you know?
Yeah, actually, let me see.
If I'm getting a Absolute Batman #5.
Hmm.
I'm getting Action Comics. Uh, this is whatever. This John Ridley one. It's just. Are you reading it or the
Which
John
one?
Ridley action?
I read the first issue only because Naki Miranda is doing the art.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
Yeah, it was a major disaster, right? I
yeah,
don't remember much about it, but yeah, no, it was cool. I liked it.
yeah. I mean, I'm still getting it, but then speaking of Johnson, I got Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
Got One World Under Doom starting, man.
me too, man. I got two covers, dude.
Oh, you did?
The Rod Reese cover and the John Tyler Christopher, the negative space one.
Okay, that's
Hold on,
sick,
hold on.
dude. Yeah, that one's way dope, dude. Damn.
Yeah,
I'm loving that cover for Immortal Thor too, dude. That cover is so fire.
yeah. Oh, I also got this one too. This is the other one, the Rod Reese one.
Oh, that is sick.
If I meet him again, I got him sign that one too.
That is sick. But yeah, Immortal Thor, that cover's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, I also picked up the
Oh yeah.
Mark Brooks anime. So, okay, not to like get off track here, but I
Mm.
also in January I read Fearless Defenders finally,
Okay.
which is all about Valkyrie being hot and badass. It's great.
Hey.
Plus other characters. Like it's got everybody, dude. Like it's got like She-Hulk is in it, Thundra's in it, Hellcat, Jenny Moonstar, Missy Knight,
Oh shit.
all the ladies, dude. It's just badass girls just kicking ass, dude. It's great. It's so cool.
Fearless Defenders?
Fearless Defenders, Cullen Bunn, Will Sliney, I think is his name.
Okay.
Cool ass book. It was great. Mark Brooks covers, all of them are like kind of different. Like a lot of them are different styles. Like you have like a hip hop album cover, you've got like an anime
Oh,
style cover,
that's
you've got like some meta, like peeling away the cover, kind of like
that's
painting over
dope.
it. It's cool. They're all really cool.
That is dope.
That's cool book too.
Dark
Uh,
Patterns, more Hayden Sherman coming.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be dope. I am reading Aquaman. I'm excited to see after that last page
With the
reveal.
Omega symbol, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see where that's going. Um, so Aquaman's cool. Please keep me updated with all new Venom on if when it's confirmed that Paul is Venom.
It's issue 5. We're getting the reveal.
Yeah, please let me know when it's confirmed to be Paul. Green Lantern Corps. I'm getting that. How did you feel about that other Green Lantern issue?
Baxter Spectrum.
No, 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 the one the United Corps one. This one.
That was 19, right?
Yeah.
What happened in that issue?
To be honest with you, I don't really remember, but all I remember was some of the art. Because I've seen a lot of variant covers by Dan Passarian, and I'm like, dude, these are fire. But
Oh,
his
yeah,
interior
it
page
was it was
was
about kind
awesome.
of like him and Carol, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fine. It was issues, whatever. But yeah, no, it was definitely not his best work.
yeah. Like his like faces, I'm like, whoa, what the
I
like?
because he did a lot of work with Adams for Flash, and I really liked his stuff in Flash.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know.
Because I
Yeah,
know he's going to be a big heavy hand in core too.
it was fine.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm always stoked for more Green Lantern. It seems like Jeremy Adams has a big sprawling
Mhm.
idea for it. So then we got what else am I getting? I am get that's pretty much it to what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I am gonna get the Marvel Mutts.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the Marvel Mutts book.
Nice.
Just because, comic book animals, I love them all.
Hey man, ain't no shame.
That's
Uh,
about it.
let's see. For me, I yeah, I got the two World Under Doom, one World Under Doom variants.
Mhm.
Got the two covers for Mortal Thor. I also got yeah, all new Venom. And then let's see. I've got Bug Wars,
Oh yeah, that starts tomorrow. I might pick
the new
that up.
Aaron book.
If they have
Yeah.
an extra copy, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, I would yeah, I'd recommend it. I like the ash can. So
Okay.
it should be good. Moon is Following Us, the Daniel Warren Johnson book.
Yeah. with Riley Rossmo, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's both of them at this point doing art. It's
that's
kind of
cool.
them bouncing back and forth. I got Transformers.
Oh yeah, you're still going. You're still reading that. How's that going?
It's fine.
Yeah,
It's just spinning its wheels.
yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
It's literally Autobots still rolling out, dude. Like
Yeah.
they haven't finished rolling out yet. That's kind
All
of where
right.
we're at. You know what I mean? I
Gotcha.
I have a feeling that we're gonna get to issue 24 and they're gonna finally roll out, and then the book is just gonna kind of fall off because whoever's taking over after it is. I don't know.
Oh man, that sucks.
I don't know. I'm gonna drop it after 24 though. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
I might just end up selling my 13 through 24 and buying it in trades.
Yeah.
Or maybe I may not even do that at all because I already kind of collected on what I wanted. I got the couple reprints of issue one. I got the 10th printing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I feel you.
what else? Oh, Geiger is out tomorrow. Geiger's sick, dude. They just introduced another character, another glowing character from Geiger. That's cool.
Okay.
Um, let's see. What else? Oh, Absolute Batman. I got that. Yeah, there's not really nothing dark. Well, End of the Unbeing, also the Hayden Sherman book.
Oh, okay.
But I'll
Damn.
be reading like obviously a lot more. So,
Right. You're gonna be reading like the ones I called out, like Green Lantern and
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be reading those too.
Aquaman, Dark Patterns.
Yeah, Aquaman variants are really nice, dude.
Yeah. Dude, to be
Mhm.
honest with you, I was really shocked. Like that's some of the best work I've seen from what, John Timms, is that his name in that
Like,
book?
like I really like this variant, dude.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
It's really like,
But yeah, John Timms, like usually I'm pretty whatever about his art, but it looked really good in that Aquaman issue.
yeah,
So
it was solid, dude. I really liked it. Yeah.
yeah, it was the best like work I've seen him do. So I'm pretty excited to
No, agreed.
see what he does. But yeah, I mean, anything else really?
Um, I mean, I'm not even sure what news
Yeah, I don't even think
is
there
out.
I don't think there was much news to be honest with
Let's
you.
see. Let's see.
Also, I had to get this cover, this variant for the Batman, this foil. It's
Oh,
basically
that's
it's callback to issue one.
yeah. 21, 25, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a callback to that, but with
I
Commander.
had to get I had to get this variant.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
That's
That's
sick.
the only cowboy for me, dude.
Yeah. Which, by the way, this cover's cool because it's like them in the question mark. I thought that was pretty sick too.
Oh yeah, because of Riddler.
Yeah, so
Oh,
that's
also, dude, on one hand, I'm relieved because I don't know if I can do 9.99 for a year straight on this book.
oh man. Oh, dude, yeah.
But
Yeah.
have you seen it? So obviously you know who this is, right?
Yeah, of course. Oh my God. No way.
It's sick, dude.
That is way dope.
So apparently only the first three issues are these covers. But the third one is Scott. And it's just conveniently issue four happens to be Jenny Frison Big Barda variant. Yeah. So the variants are stacked. So
I love Jenny Frison's work and the fact she's doing Barda. God.
yeah, it looks look it up, dude. It's a really nice cover. It's really
Oh,
nice.
yeah, I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to.
Oh shoot, no, it doesn't look good. But yeah, that's a really, really good cover, dude. Let's just see general comic news. Oh, did you see the thing about them t Marvel teasing digging up Gwen Stacy's body?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I just leave it alone, dude.
Why do they do this?
Who knows?
Oh my God.
And then there's Dormammu is gonna come into One World Under Doom.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be cool.
That makes sense though.
Yeah, with him
Social
being
Supreme.
Sorcerer
So
Supreme and all that, yeah. Did you see them? Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna ask you about. Did you see them announce that they're changing John Kent's name to Super Son? Like officially Super Son?
why?
Who knows? Who cares? I mean, at this point, who cares? He got DH for Shazam 20.
What?
They de-aged him in Shazam 20, yeah, just for the issue.
Oh,
It was cool though. He got caught in the crossfire of a Shazam bolt. Like it hit like a mirror that had like magical. It has like a magical mirror. It like bounced off the mirror and hit him, and it turned him into Young John.
okay.
So he got to like dig around and be Young John for the
That's
day. And then at the end, his Jay, his boyfriend, came in and was like, "Hey, like you've been avoiding me for like a couple days. So what's the deal? Like I knew something was up." And he's like, "I didn't realize you were a kid." He's like, well, we can't figure it out. Like, what do we do? He's like, so what happened? And then they explained to him. He's like, have you tried just saying Shazam? And they're like, oh no. And then he says Shazam, and then he turns back to like adult John. And it wasn't Josie Campbell. It was Cena Grace, which
okay.
it was a fine issue. It was fine. I liked it. I enjoyed it. The art had a very like classic like old school kind of like Calvin and Hobbes feel with
Oh,
like the
okay.
old like comic strip style. Very like old Fawcett like city comics days, you know what I mean, like the like that era.
Yeah,
So it was cool. I don't
that's
know.
dope.
I liked it. It was fine.
That's dope.
And that run has been surprisingly good. I'll give it that. Like, it wasn't as hardcore as the Wade,
Yeah, wait a more.
initial like Wade run and Mora run, but it's good. I'm not gonna knock it. If you like Shazam and you like just like wacky, like just silly, more like if you want more lighthearted, campy, silly superhero storytelling, go read that book, bro. Like that exactly is that is the book you're looking for.
Right.
If you want something that kind of feels like a blend of modern but also like very like golden age superhero antics, go read that book. It's 20 issues of just all of that. The first six are just banger ass art by Dan Mora. After that, it's just consistently silly, fun, interesting stories with the Shazamly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that book. I think it's highly overlooked. Like on a closing note, I do think Shazam is highly underrated.
Yeah.
Especially well, because there's a lot of good DC books out right now, so it's kind of hard to compete with a lot of them.
Well, I think Josie Campbell herself is pretty underrated too. She's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
no, she's a good writer. I mean, she started out strong with the new champion of Shazam. I like that. Her and Doc Shaner were good on that.
Yeah.
So when she took over for Shazam, I said, oh, I think I remember us having that conversation too, and I was like kind of bummed about Wade leaving. There's
Right.
like 12 he left, right?
I think it was less than that. I think you just did like,
Nine,
yeah, something like that. It was like eight or
nine or
nine.
10 maybe, yeah. But yeah, so like when he left, I was kind of bummed out. But then I ended up like actually giving it a shot, and it's actually been good.
Yeah. I mean,
So
Josie Campbell's pretty great. She writes for Adventures of Superman, and
yeah,
and
she did this book for Boom recently. I think it's still going on. It's called I Heart Skullbreaker, and it's
oh,
like
I've seen
this
that.
really
Yeah.
wacky, like post-apocalyptic, like anime manga inspired world where it's like kind of the world kind of revolves around this sport called I don't know what the hell it's called, but it's like this like everybody basically it's kind of like it's got a ball and you have to score, but you can also kill your opponents and do all this crazy shit to them. So it's like this really wacky out of pocket like story. It's interesting. It's cool. The art's really it's fun. It kind of fits she kind of has that like that niche filled with
Yeah.
like really wacky, eccentric, funny, goofy storytelling.
Yeah. Cartoony, very
Yeah.
cartoony.
Yeah, exactly. Like if ki- honestly kind of like a Gurren Lagann, kind of like it kind of gives me those vibes, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
like late 80s, early 90s anime like weirdness.
That's cool.
It's cool. I enjoyed it.
That's dope. But yeah, Josie Campbell, I honestly would like to see I don't even think Shazam's really in like the all-in era yet. So it's like I would like to see
He
him try to like
they
hold
mention him, they mention it briefly, like
because
him being like back and forth and kind of doing stuff, but yeah.
I would like to see him get like rolled into like the Justice League and see him in that and to see
Yeah,
him.
I mean, I'm sure he'll probably get used at some point since it's Wade.
Yeah,
So,
I'm sure. I'm sure Wade's gonna.
but yeah.
I know Taki Tani is like a part of the questions book, so
Yeah, well, I mean, you have the big crossover coming up too with World's Finest and Justice League also. We are yesterday or whatever it's called.
yeah,
That'll be good.
yeah, stoked. But tomorrow should be good, and so the next episode we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, yes, yes. A lot of books coming out tomorrow.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to
Or
decide if I want to go before work and pick it up or wait. But
can't wait for Immortal Thor.
oh, I know, dude, it's gonna be so good.
So excited, dude.
Finally, Toranos. It's gonna
He's
be dope.
back, baby.
It's gonna
I
be
just
dope.
wish it was Coco though.
I know because his Toranos was
Also do it fine. It'll do it. She'll do it good. They'll
yeah.
do it good. Whatever. But yeah. All right, guys. That's it.
Yep,
It's hella late.
it is.
We recorded late tonight. But thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
All
Peace.
right, later on, guys.